What's up, Champions fam? It's Zeke 4 back with a brand new WWE Champions video. Now, a few days ago, we got a brand new update from WWE Champions where we saw a complete 180 overhaul and makeover to the Faction HQ, as well as the introduction of the Faction Store, which was unavailable in the beginning but is now up and running, as all of you can see. When it came to this update, I was actually impressed right out of the gate, especially pertaining to the mechanics within the HQ. Now, leaders are able to not only communicate with their faction fam as a whole, but if they need to get in touch with an individual and communicate with them privately, they can send messages that way. On top of that, you can also check out the statistics and participation of not only your faction members, but those who are trying to get into your faction. And if you need to be more thorough about your research on a player, you can now instantly be sent to the WWE Champions web portal so you can get all the information and intel that you need properly before you allow anyone else into your faction fam. If they don't meet the requirements that you need out of your players and your faction mates, then you can bypass that issue without question. But a gift doesn't come without a curse, because we also got hit with a bunch of brand new bugs when pertaining to this update. Yes, we can now communicate with our faction mates more thoroughly and more securely via in-game, and then take things off the grid, so to speak, to whatever type of format of communication, whether it be Line, Discord, or Messenger. But we also have problems with people being able to log in. We had issues with the latest Faction Feud weekend where people were being matched up instantly, and if you didn't properly survey the opponent that you were matched up with, you probably selected the wrong opponent during your queued up situation. Then we had the disappearing gem boards for people, both in Dead Man's Daily as well as the King of Kings store. We even had a glitch where you actually had some mixed match action where you had some male champions able to fight female champions. And I'm not talking Ray Rice. Now listen, y'all. That is what happens with champions a lot of the times. They introduce one shiny new toy and then it just gets overshadowed by the plethora of issues that come with it. One new thing that's supposedly good, 10 new things that cause a headache within the game. But one thing that I have to, address here is the Faction Store. Now, when the update happened, the Faction Store was out of action, but now it is up and running. But I have a problem with the way that they went about things. First and foremost, let's address the swag coin situation. Now, a lot of people in this game, like myself, hoard like no tomorrow. You hoard your coins, you hoard your IGC in-game cash for a rainy day, you hoard your TPCT, RESPECT, your TPCT training posters, coins, and tokens. You hoard your swag coins because you never know what solid offers are going to come through the store, as well as your showdown coins for the shop there as well. You always hoard everything because you never know what kind of content they drop on you. Unlike other games where they give you the heads up of, hey, we're going to have a diamond contest. They won't let you know. You'll be hoarding until the end of time, and then, oh, hey, here's a diamond contest. Go wild. Oh, that's nice. I spent them the other day, but gee, thanks for the heads up, Scopely. But with here, this is something that had me scratching my head and shaking it afterwards, because instead of doing the smart thing of converting our old currency into the brand new currency, they decided to turn our old currency into bags. And depending on how the RNG and the scope gods treated you, you probably got scoped. Now, a handful of people walked away with some solid amounts of coins and other resources. Others, Not so much. It was a damn slap in the face for all the hard work of stockpiling those coins for so damn long. And I, for one, I was over 1 million swag coins. And what I got out of those bags was not a good return at all. I would have much rather preferred getting that million plus swag coins turned into 1 million plus faction coins and making it easier. And yes, they did send out everybody some faction coins. Okay. But it doesn't mean that it was enough, and we're basically all starting off from ground zero again. Unless, of course, you got people who got mad IGC and are spamming expeditions, getting them immediately cleared out so they can keep on hoarding and keep on building up to where they used to be, which is highly possible. But I digress. That was one dilemma there, okay? They could have easily converted our old currency into the new currency, and people wouldn't have missed a step. Especially when you take a look at these prices here. Now, following that, the expeditions. The expeditions are not paying out the way they used to. The old currency, we got a better return, 7K plus swag coins, 18K swag coins from doing a purple expedition or a legendary expedition. Now, we're not even skimming the surface of that. We're not even getting, a solid portion of that from these new expeditions, and the amount of coins that are needed to make purchases are absolutely asinine even when they deduct the price. You can see right here, and look at that amount it costs to refresh the shop. Okay, you go from 45 IGC to refresh the showdown shop to 1,000 IGC to refresh the faction store. And look at the price here. Look at the price for the things that a lot of people are going to try to go for. The gear loot coins, so you can do a pull on the gear gotcha. That was once available, then they took it down, and now it's back up again. And I feel bad for people there because people have purchased it and ended up getting a pull that was pretty much gear that they already had. I feel that the gear that was made purchasable with the golden and silver clothes hangers, those should have not been a part of that gear gotcha, because then it would make it more special when you pulled something. Pulling Surfer Sting's gear, pulling the Fiend's gear, pulling the NWO Nash and Hall gears. It's going to feel a lot better than pulling Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, or Shinsuke Nakamura's gear that isn't even going to really let you see the true effects when it's all said and done. And then, yes, the strap, but the strap's still RNG. Yeah, there's a chance that you might get lucky, but there's also a chance that you might get scoped as well, depending on what you're aiming for. And look at the amount that goes towards the Charlotte Flair gear. Now, I want y'all to look at something real quick. Reality Showboat Charlotte Flair, second nature, right? That's her epithet. But here, she's monikered as the Queen. Now, I mentioned in a previous video, I would love to see another Charlotte Flair, a modern era trickster. Someone in my past videos commented maybe a technician. I could see it. I could see it happening. But to mess up on something as simple as the epithet of the proper champion doesn't make sense. And looking at the price, 400,000 faction coins. None of us are near that, unless, like I said earlier, you're in a faction that is sitting on mad amounts of IGC, and they're able to rush all of the expeditions so people can stockpile and get back to where they need to be. And who knows how long that can run, because at the end of the day, sooner or later, the well will run dry. I'm at wit's end with this. We get a new update that brings in some solid features, solid new look, but there's still problems, still issues. And now this just doesn't even seem fair. This just seems like highway robbery to me. But to each his own too. Some people are going to bite the bullet. Now, one cool thing that I will address and I'm going to bring up before I head out here is that some good people, whether you like them or not, some good old folks over at the faction 1%, a top tier faction that gets the job done, best believe, okay, when you're literally named 1%, and you've brought up a gamer term within the community that everyone understands, you know the ins and outs of the game. Some good people over at 1% went ahead and they provided a document that everyone should be able to access that's going to let you know the prices for everything within the shop now that it's up and running. So I don't know how they did it. More than likely, somebody bit the bullet and they spent the IGC to find out the prices for us. But I'm going to leave a link to that document in the video description, okay? I want everyone to get properly educated so they know what to save up for, what the costs are, and you can move forward and decide. At the end of the day, like I said, hoard like a madman, a madwoman. Get back to where you need to be, because that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be sitting and waiting things out to get this gear, but it's also a thing that I'm going to be realistic with you too. Charlotte has a solid build when it comes to her coaching ability. She's also great for certain types of content. Again, she was one of the top tier waifus when women were introduced in the game. So to see her get her due with 3 new gears, one improving gem damage, one improving multiplied gem strength, one improving MP for her move points, I'm glad to see it. But it's also a thing like this too. You need 3 gears to make one champion a monster. But you are going to be seeing more and more new waifus that are going to come out of the gate without gear that might breeze right past her. Zombie Paige, her new gears won't mean nothing if Zombie Paige gets the skip turn off. You got someone out there that's going to be an MP stealer on the women's side. We're going to have more MP stealers as we move forward. It's going to be a problem. And showboats aren't the strongest class to many. So it's kind of one of those things. Make her a long-term project. But if you get blessed with a solid units, like a Striker China, a Powerhouse China, okay, even Lana has her uses now. Focus on them first and just have Charlotte on the back burner because resources are scarce. But at least we know that the gear is there. And that's a blessing in itself. The curse is just the price. I really feel that they should have upped the amount that we get from Expeditions. I feel that they should have simply converted the old swag coins into the new faction coins so everyone wouldn't have missed a step, wouldn't have missed the beat. But Champions is going to be Champions nonetheless. I just hope that they fix this, because that's not right to have the Champions moniker a completely different one. It's just a disgrace. It's the same way with how they went about Lex Luger, with him having a Legends emblem and then he's new gen, or having Rey Mysterio have an Attitude Era emblem but he's modern era. It's just shows that people don't care. You had one job to do and you messed it up. Nonetheless, though, the faction store is here to stay. Nothing's going to change that. Things are subject to change, but more than likely, they're not going to get rid of it. And when it comes to the gear loot, I feel bad for people who went ahead and made purchases on it, and then they got basically a copy of gear that they already had. I really feel that the gear that you got with the clothes hangers, gold or silver, literally should not even be a part of that gacha. It should be exclusives. Literally, they could introduce new gears for a multitude of people. We could easily have gotten some Slick Rick gear from that banner to make it more enticing. A new look for Braun Strowman or Sheamus. Both of them have went over amazing, makeovers and transitions of character as of late. Unless we're going to get new versions of them as champions, which is possible. But aside from that, rare gears, they should have literally just brought in a whole new crew, because there's a bunch of characters, a bunch of wrestlers in real life that have multitudes of gear that they could have easily introduced in there without having the same old rigmarole. Gears that are repetitive. I'm happy to see Alexa Bliss's gears in there. I missed out on it. I hope that I can get it one day. But this is definitely going to be something where with the gear coins, you're just going to save them up and stockpile them like anything else. And hopefully you get mad lucky and just treat them the same way you would treat headliner chips and diamonds. Just be smart about your purchases. Hoard everything. Just stockpile everything, because in these days and times of champions, you never know what they're going to hit us with next. Nonetheless, I'm sorry for being long-winded, but always remember this: bad times don't last. but champions do. And mad love always, each and every single one of you on my beloved hashtag champions fam. Again, shout out to 1% for putting together a document with all the prices for all the items that are going to be featured within the store. Share this with your faction mates. Share this with your faction leaders so everyone knows what's going on, the ins and outs about it. You won't be surprised, and take a good look. There are some solid things in here, the parts for straps, TP, faction tokens, health packs. It's looking solid. It looks like they're following the same formula that they have in the Showdown shop. The cheap stuff on the top, and then you got a couple expensive things sprinkled out, and that's cool. That's cool. But just spend wisely, but play smarter. And like I said, check in the description of this video below. I will have a link to that document. Thank you again to 1% for making it. And hopefully that's able to help y'all out. But y'all let me know your thoughts about the faction store. Y'all let me know the thoughts about the prices that you come across. What's something that piqued your interest when you came across it? I'm cool with a lot of the things that they introduce here. But still, the amount of coins that we have right now, it's just bad. Starting back all over again. Really, really sad. And even though they sent us some coins, I think, in the in-game messages, it still doesn't make up for this fiasco. This update has brought on more issues and more problems than gifts and blessings, to say the least. I mean, even outside of the issues I stated, they had the whole thing with the Hulk Hogan gear, the Hollywood Hogan loot, where people pulled Hogan, but he didn't come with the gear, so then they had to end up sending a message to be like, hey, here's his gear because y'all pulled him, but you didn't get the gear, and you were supposed to, so here you go here. For every one good thing, we get 10 or 20 more problems show up. So, I mean, it's just a part of the nature of the beast by now. And Champions is just going to approach things like a business thing instead of with common sense. Because, sadly, it seems to me, business has nothing to do with common sense. And I call that stupid money then. But, nonetheless, didn't mean to hold y'all for long. Let me know your thoughts about the brand new faction store. Let me know your thoughts about the faction HQ overhaul. And, what kind of gears or champions would you like to see with the right epithets on them? And how would you approach this? What's your move going to be? What did you get out of your bags that they gave you in the conversion of your swag coins that easily could have been converted into the new faction coins? Let's just chop it up in the comments below. But nonetheless, Thanksgiving's right around the corner. Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas, I wish y'all nothing but the best to be blessed. Pardon me, and enjoy the time that you have with you and yours. Always strive to be successful. Cherish life. Cherish every moment, because tomorrow is never promised, just like the day wasn't. And know that regardless of what Scopely tries to do to you, you are forever a champion. So until next time, mad love always. Stay tuned. Peace!